because it'll skip definitely. So yeah, it was like that with Twitch too. So my now non-existent Twitch channel, because YouTube is somewhat better actually. Only so I'm gonna re-explain all that once it's 2-minute mark here. So I'll be right back. I don't even know if you heard any of that, so you know, just be prepared. Alright, so I know I said I was gonna wait so 2 minutes, but you know what? I'll wait till 5 minutes because in the past these live streams tend to skip um, up to 5 minutes, or sorry, 2 minutes. Sometimes 3 minutes, sometimes 4 minutes. It just depends on how long the stream is, but this one won't be too long unless you want to watch me grind, or, you know, when my parents get home. I'll have to stop broadcasting because my internet is so crap in this area. So, oh right, first, to do anything and for me to show you guys the glitch. It's a sound glitch, which I find interesting because, well, that happens. So, let's hope that, let's just hope that you guys can see this. It's mainly sound. Screw it. I think 4 minutes and 30 seconds is good enough. Alright, so I'm about to walk over the spot right now. So you heard that, right? I stepped on stone and wood was heard. There is no woods around this area. I have a note on top of the spot that says reeks of corruption. There's no pictures, no anything, it just says reeks of corruption. Only because on that exact spot there's like this sound effect that'll be wood instead of cobblestone street. Or, you know, your usual footstep. Is that an item I didn't get? No, it's just a reflection, probably. So yeah, I was just on this character grinding, and I walk across that. Now, I waited a little while for me to make a video about this. The only reason why I'm broadcasting is because that's the only way I can really. That's the only way I can really speak, is through broadcasting. I know there's a setting on the PS4 that has it to where I can enable my microphone for normal videos, but I'm not gonna do that because um, most videos that I make are meant to be silent videos where it's just gameplay and there's no commentary like what's happening now. That's what commentary means, in case you didn't know. You probably do know because you've probably seen YouTube a lot. A lot of YouTube videos. Sorry, not seeing YouTube. Just looking at the YouTube logo won't inform you of all this. In case you're new to Bloodborne and you don't really know how the mechanics work, these guys, if you have enough attack and endurance, basically your stamina is high enough. I'd say about 104 if your weapon strength is 125. I would recommend you just run up and hit these guys, because in this area they're stunnable. In any other area they're not stunnable. I don't mean this area as in the subsewers, I mean Central Yharnam in general. I call this the subsewers because it's kind of not. You guys saw that too, right? You only got those 2 hits in because of this another glitch. Either that or it's just bad collision. So that's not a sound glitch. That's a collision glitch, actually. I don't even know if the glitch. I know it wasn't intentional because there's stairs there. You're supposed to be able to walk upstairs. If you can't walk up those stairs, it's either barriers there or just bad programming. From a gamer's point of view, it's bad how hard it is to actually program something that good. Only because, you know, I would have started, and it's a lot harder. When you first start out, you hardly know anything. Just like if you started playing just like if you were to start playing a brand new game that has brand new mechanics and everything, you wouldn't know how it works, so you'd have to figure it out for yourself. But usually, for programming things, either you're taught in high school or college. Probably not high school for 3D models, but definitely college. Another glitch that happens a lot is that the ragdoll corpses will clip through the walls and floors of just any area in Bloodborne. Like, especially if the corpse lands somewhere around one of these. If the corpse lands here, it'll glitch through and fall out of the world. And the only reason why I'm reporting this, well, not really reporting this, I'm more like, you know, putting it out there, only because you can lose either important items or, for these guys, throwing knives. And throwing knives, for me, is important because they stun a little more than bullets would on certain mobs, especially mobs that are weak to skill. I'm sorry, enemies, not mobs. I'm so used to using mobs because that's the short term for it in Final Fantasy XI, and I used to play that game, I'm pretty sure starting 2015, before I started this channel. But I do have a couple Final Fantasy 11 videos up here that was after the Alduin update, and after the Raftoids Vanadil update, which is why you saw the Trust Magic and the Mo Gates area. This is not really a gameplay video, it's more of a me going on a rant, especially about some glitches that I found that could potentially be problems. The sound glitch isn't much of a problem, it's just probably a bug in the system that needs fixed. But definitely the models clipping through walls and floors and clipping through collision boxes on objects. Also being in high places, like an example of the high places glitch for another regular corpse glitch is the corpse will say there's a pile of sandbags that the enemy dies next to. The corpse will glitch on top of the sandbags and you won't be able to get your item. That tends to happen with these guys as well. In the main sewers anyway. Not the sewers leading to Gascoigne, or yeah, not the sewers leading to Gascoigne, but the sewers where you get your first insight or Madman's knowledge, whichever term you prefer. It's pretty much the same thing. Madman's knowledge gives insight, so the only reason why I'm this character is because I was grinding, and it's reason why I say it's my Central Yharnam character only is, well, because I am challenging myself. I'm basically stretching my patience to see how long I can stay in Central Yharnam and grind up echoes to level up. Right now, 13k is about 2 levels, probably 14 or 15k now, but yeah, you get the gist of it. I don't expect anyone to really sit through this video because it's mainly just a rant. You probably can't even hear me anyway, mainly because my voice is probably too low. But I don't expect this video to be popular, but if it is popular, and From Software sees it before the PS5 comes out, I would like for them to fix a couple of these glitches, because I should not be able to see through. That's another glitch. That's a visual glitch. Seeing the water between the crack of that corner and the wall, you should not be able to see that, but I can. So maybe pull the model back a little, or the texture back a little bit, so it's not like, you know, jutting out there and it's covering that line. Or just move it over. It might be just an X or Z axis glitch. For this wall it's an X axis, but if you're looking this way it's probably a Z. No, it's still an X. Z is more depth. X is side to side. Y is up and down. So I just thought I'd speak about these glitches. I will use the rest of this video else or find something else. Also, the footing for these railings can be a bit misleading, mainly because of the collision boxes not registering, or your character bounces off because it thinks it's hit the sides when you've really just nicked the corner. So maybe make the collision boxes a little wider for those skinny platforms, just so players can land a little easier. By far, nothing too problematic, just, you know, when people are dropping down, especially in that tower, when you have to go down to get the Source of the Hunter's Dream achievement, or go down even farther to get either a claw mark. Yeah, I think it's claw mark. It might be beast. You defeat the enemy down there, you get beast or claw mark. Carl rune, I forget which one it is because it's pretty low tier and they look pretty much about the same. Also, I haven't been down there in a while, so. Basically, just make the collision boxes a little wider so people don't bounce off after them clearly landing on what seems to be the top. It's happened to me a lot. It's happened to my dad a lot. It's happened to Blaze a lot. I'm sorry, my brother a lot. Um, just when they play Bloodborne and they're trying to drop down, and then they end up bouncing off somehow and just hitting the bottom. So yeah. And when they hit the bottom, they die because they don't have enough vitality or just because of the glitch. Also, if you just barely get somewhere and it looks like you're gonna land on the planks and your feet are like an inch from the planks, not in the x-axis but the y-axis, and then you just clip through, that's also another glitch that is not very helpful. I'm gonna turn the sound down just a little more so you can hear me while I'm grinding here. You don't really need to listen for anything. I'm really just farming echoes or grinding echoes and throwing knives and bloodstone shards. But yeah, I thought I just wanted to point that out. And for anyone else who's new to or for people who are new to Bloodborne, when you swing and then R or L1 right away, it doesn't matter if it's an R2 and then an L1, you will swing and extend your weapon. Usually it's extending, sometimes it's just transforming. There will be an attack to follow past that. For those of you who already know, you don't really have to listen to that piece of advice because you already know. But also when you roll, it will also happen. When you sprint, though, it won't happen. Only when you roll or swing, or get done rolling or get done swinging, because there's like a maybe 2-second delay before it actually registers as you just trying to do this. So for the most part, I think that's all the glitches. I might find more. I do know it's only a 2015 game. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. These planks right here. Alright, the only reason why I was able to stand on those just now is because the collision box was a little out there. If I were to try to stand on those long ones, I would fall through and probably die. Screw it, I'm gonna try this. Oh, no. Alright, okay, so that's fine. But usually the case is you end up falling off. Looks like they might have patched these ones. I think in an earlier version of Bloodborne you clip through them, which is problematic on a large scale. I do know it's a 2015 game, but I would like for it to, at least have some patches to where the players don't rage as much because they clip through something, or one of their items that they were trying to get that only drops once, clips through the wall or the floor. Yeah, no, just stuff like that, because that can happen and it's a major problem most of the time. Now, there are those players who have never found those glitches. Alright, so another glitch is like right here, when you like bait the two werewolves, those guys over there, when they're alive. When you bait them, make sure they're following you. Make sure they follow you. Maybe throw a pebble at them if they're not. If once you kill one of them, the other's collision box might trigger a clip through. Uh, the corpse will clip through the stairs or the railing. If it clips through the railing, you can just go down there and get it. Hi. But if it clips through the stairs, you cannot get a possible bloodstone shard and blood vials. Most likely 3. So yeah, that's one of the glitches. They did patch this glitch down here, where you would go between the bookshelves. I'll show you after I'm done here. They patched this over here. Like right here, they moved this over a little more. That's why there's like a gap here. They might have moved this over, but I don't think they did. I think they just moved this one. Because players were going in that corner, and then they'd just be stuck in a running animation, basically like this, but reversed. And they were stuck behind there. So I'm glad they fixed that one, though. That one, I got caught in that one once, and I had to use a bold hunter's mark to get out of there. Because if you use a normal hunter's mark, you will lose everything you've collected, and you will not be happy. I don't mind you just keeping this area blank. It's just some players might think there's an item over here, because it looks like it might have that inquisitiveness. My tongue just okay. My tongue just stuttered. It happens when I talk a lot. Oh, come on. Oh, both of you doing the same exact attack at the same exact angle. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that again. Sorry. I mean, I'm not really sorry. I mean, you guys will respawn anyway, but still. I would definitely not be doing this if this was real life, unless they were actually beasts, so. The goal on this character is to not kill any bosses until you've reached a really high level. Because I will be starting a new series, where it'll be Trithin versus Bloodborne bosses, and I want to get every single boss. And I'm planning for me to be really powerful when I go in there, because I might just start the New Game Plus right after I'm done with that one. And now, I'm not grinding in this first area because I want to be overpowered when I defeat the Cleric Beast or Gascoigne, but rather to, you know, have any poison effects, you know, barely take a, take a chunk out of my health, because that happens sometimes. Alright, also that right there is a kind of, you know, you can clearly see there's a mob there because of the torch. And then they continue their path as soon as you know, walk over the certain area in the steps, alerting their path to continue. Or just start, because, you know, alright, I wasn't trying. Alright, that's another thing. When you slide off of something and you land very softly, you'll still take a lot of damage. That needs to be fixed. If it's a slide, I would suggest you do, like, very little damage if you land on the sliding. Like, as soon as you land on the objects, before you start sliding, you take a little bit of damage compared if it was a flat surface. Like, that up there, where the collision box is a flat surface. But yeah, if you slide, I would suggest you take very little damage. Now, if it slides off a cliff, you will definitely die, and yeah, good luck with getting your echoes back. Or just have the echoes not, you know, spawn on the sliding part, which is another thing It's the rats. Alright. There's another thing they patched, is your echoes spawning exactly where you died. Um, because I did remember that being a thing, and people were losing their minds because they couldn't get their echoes back because they were their echoes were in a place that they couldn't reach. Alright, this is what I'm talking about here. If I were to kill this rat now, they would glitch on top of the sandbags, even if they were alerted my presence and walked off the sandbags. Their corpse would have glitched on top of the sandbags. Now, if it happens on barrels or crates, okay, yeah, I get your anger at me for killing you a bunch of times, but really, it's just a game, guys. You're AI anyway. Anyway, if it happens on barrels or crates, it's fine, because you can just destroy that prop, and the item will just, the corpse will, and the item will fall. Another glitch would be in Old Yharnam, after you drop de jure off the cliff, the item is floating in midair, rather than either on a flat surface down below, or on basically it's spawning on the tower where it usually spawns if you reset the area and get back there. Another thing I've learned is always, always take an extra swing when you need to, because you never know when they're gonna survive 1 health, and I've had them survive 1 health on me a lot of times, and that gets really frustrating, especially if you're like on really low health and you have no blood vials of any kind and no healing items of any kind, or you just have no bullets. Like, say you have the choir bell and you have like 5 bullets because you pressed up on the D-pad to get bullets. Because if you have 1 bullet normally, and then you did that, you would still have enough to use the choir bell. But once you run out of quicksilver bullets. I almost said blood bullets. Because I'm talking faster than I usually do. That person who's viewing, I really hope you are a person and not a computer that's just giving me a view. I mean, you probably are a person. I'm just saying you might be a AI or computer that just gives me one view, so people look at it. That only happens on live streams. There'll be like an extra viewer, even though nobody's watching. Don't worry, that is not me. I do not do that to my streams. I am in the middle of playing a game on my stream, and I do not resort to such, let's just say, tactics, because, you know, you're giving yourself more views by just adding an account. Ah, hey. It's been a while since we spoke. How is stuff happening? Oh, sorry, not happening. Just, how's it going? When you get to this section of the live stream. Come on. Yeah, it's pretty much school. Same stuff usually every day. Yeah, we've started school like Tuesday instead of next week like everyone else, because somehow McKinley's special. I'm pretty much just going through and grinding and ranting about certain things that I think are a problem. Yeah, it is pretty lame. Sorry, I just now saw your message because it just popped up. I don't know why, it's just muscle memory to destroy that group of barrels because, you know, I'm used to starting over sometimes. I am glad you found my channel though. You probably already subscribed to it, or you just saw it through Facebook. Something just in case the sound overlaps my microphone. Because my microphone is literally just my headset, and my headset is really old. I already killed those crows. You know, sometimes I forget that I've killed something because I've done it so many times that it just sometimes replays my brain. Yeah, that's understandable. I try to stream when I can, so kind of similar, except you're a viewer and I'm the one who's got this channel. Trying to keep it alive, even though it's barely even started. Hey, werewolf. Yeah, please don't kill me before I get my echoes back. I mean, not that I couldn't get 10k back easily. Yeah, I get that sometimes. Or there'll be like a lot of people releasing videos at once. Because there are some people that I subscribe to that stream a lot. Uh, you know, I'm just gonna go get my echoes now, just in case I die here. And there goes 10k on this character. Usually 10k for my main character is literally nothing because it takes 500k to level up. And it's another mechanic if you don't know about Bloodborne's combat mechanic, is that if you swing while your section of your bar is orange, you'll get health back. Another tip for playing is just sometimes just the smallest movement matters the most. Like a swing of your weapon can have you dodge an attack or a bullet or a projectile or something. And it's one of the things I find neat, is that it's not like a PS3. Because I played Demon Souls and Dark Souls 2. I beat them both. Not streaming, of course, because I don't know how to stream on PS3. But also because at the time I didn't have a YouTube channel. But anyway, I'm used to PS3 hitboxes, where you'll literally get hit even though you're kind of a little off to the side from their weapon. Because your hitbox is really wide and their weapon's hitbox is also really wide because PlayStation 3. But I rarely get a chance to talk to my channel. Oh, hi. Usually this gunman is a bit farther down, like right here, but you know, they probably changed it. Yeah, I know. I've experienced that a lot, especially on PS3 games. Like Dark Souls 2, especially. Demon Souls, it's acceptable because it's literally the first game like this that From Software has made. Ooh, Bloodstone Shard. Alright, that rat has my echoes. Another tip, just in case you've never played Bloodborne, is enemies who have your blood echoes have glowing blue eyes. Or purple eyes, if you see it purple. Which, sometimes I see it purple. Yep, there's my 10k back. Yeah, you're not getting me again, sorry. Yeah, my mistake last time was dropping in, expecting to win. Yeah, usually using the L1 as part of your combo does give a faster swing. Okay, just making sure they didn't drop behind me. Not that I'm gonna miss them when I come back down again. And another part I don't like is this. Everything knowing you're here before you're even here. That's another tip. Just slide down the ladder if they're close near the ladder. Just dodge these bullets until they climb the ladder fully. Because you can just knock them off the ladder. Yeah, as you can see, the slightest movement. Oops, I just went a little too far there. Are you even coming up the ladder? No, you're being a grouch. Alright then. I was gonna show you something you can do against that. Oh, now you're climbing the ladder after I've already taken care of the gunman. Okay, yeah. Because why not? That's another thing I don't like about this game, is the AI sometimes makes silly choices at silly times. And sometimes that can end up making you dead. Alright, I'll go back there later. Another thing is the sandbags right here don't really block you from walking over here, so it's kind of a shortcut. It might be intentional, it might not be. All I know is that you can literally just walk around there and you'll be over here. And the mob's AI does not know how to do that. They'll just take the long way around. And you can literally just toy with them. You can literally just toy with them, make them run back and forth. That's another thing. The shadows, there's no real lands for them to, like, collide with, so they just clip through. Like, you have two shadows, pretty much, right here. The shadow where there's nothing that's standing on, and then this shadow, which is actually with your character, where it's supposed to be. Yeah, another thing is this ledge right here is kind of useless. Because unless you can get up here, that right there cuts you off. I've tried going around like you can do with those sandbags, but you just fall off, so that's not a fast way to the Hunter's Garb. So this ledge right here is kind of useless. Unless you're baiting an enemy off with the Beast's Roar, where you can knock them off the edge into that pit right there. I won't take the long way. Although I do have to drop on the other end to get those rats. So it's to just walk, yep, right there. It works both ways. Let's see here. Which side am I on? Okay, this side. Over here. Another thing that should probably be either added or fixed is that crates and barrels break your fall a little bit. I understand they're not breaking your fall a lot because they're pretty much a hard surface, but they break, so maybe you should take a little less damage if you fall on one. Like in some games that do that. Those guys are already dead. Another thing is that the corpses will refresh in the like same position that they spawned in. So it'll be kind of weird to see them in spots that you did not kill them in, and those corpses literally moved. And yeah. Also, usually these guys are all facing the floor, but sometimes they are just aware. That's another thing. The mob's attacks, having them clip through another mob when players can't do that. So either make it so where players can clip through each other with certain attacks, or just make the mobs collide with each other. Because otherwise, it's a bit unfair that the mobs can clip through each other when the players can't. Alright, I'll get to this section later. I just gotta get this ladder up here cleared first. Probably because it's more like a side area that just unlocks a shortcut. But, you know, you don't really need this shortcut up here if you have the elevator over there, which is closer to Gascoigne's boss fight than this one. But this one does have insight, like, right here. So, as you can see, people have thrown their notes on the ground where the insight is. One of my notes is... Okay, that's not one of my notes. I think it might be on the other character. Yeah, it's on the other character. The note says, behind you, insight waits ahead. And that has a lot of high ratings. Yeah. Basically, here's just where you go up here and kill those dogs, and it leads to the sub-sewers, which leads to the werewolves after you climb back up the sub-sewers. You get the picture. I don't usually talk to anyone in their houses besides little Gilbert when you first climb up to Central Yharnam. Because, you know, there's literally nothing you can do to help them, and they literally just reject you because you're an outsider. Literally an outsider. And they blame you for everything, just because you're a hunter, and you do what you do. Which I kind of find bullshit, because even the hunters here, from Yharnam that turned into beasts say it's all my fault, when I literally just got here. So it's literally not my fault because I just arrived here in Yharnam. I am glad that they made it to where you can dodge out of combos. But I would like for it to only be mob combos, because when you're being invaded and you have the Blades of Mercy and the invader can just dodge right out of your second attack before it gets serious. Fine, Jesus, I'll shoot you down. Oh, that one complied at the last possible second. Another tip is for this pig over here, if you're new and have not defeated this pig yet, or you just haven't defeated this pig yet. The Saw Hunter's badge is over here, along with some cold blood, just normal cold blood, and just use it to gain blood echoes. Obviously, what I just did is how you take care of that pig. If you have lower attack, just stick behind it and do a full charge attack. If it does its poison breath, I'm sorry, if they do their poison breath. I say it because it's a computer AI, because AI doesn't really have a gender, because it's AI. AI can't really, you know, feel anything unless it's programmed to feel, but even then, that's just a reaction due to a certain event. Yeah, these guys' combos are a bit hard to dodge at sometimes, but mainly they're pretty predictable. I could have parried them at pretty much any time that they were to collide with my hitbox, but I chose not to because I kind of need the bullets. Alright, let me get these two trolls. I call them trolls, alright? They just remind me of trolls for some reason. Not the big guy, these guys over here. I don't know why. They just look like trolls to me. Maybe it's because of the bare skin on their torsos and the hairs on their back and the long hair on their heads and the beards. It just looks like a troll to me. Not an internet troll, of course not. That wasn't what I was talking about. More of a bridge troll. Usually they're pictured with that type of beard and hair because it's all over the place. Usually they're in storybooks. This is the elevator I was talking about. It's literally a clear shortcut. It's the shortcut past the shortcut. Oops. Yeah, you don't want to stand on the pressure plate if the pressure plate hasn't risen yet, because you'll literally just be standing on it and nothing will happen. Yeah. Basically, when the sound file kicks in, that's your cue to step on it. Okay, yeah. I did that too soon. That's another thing I don't like. You do R1 to hit them, right? And you also use R1 to cue the versatile attack. But right there, it didn't do it. When I shot them, and you heard that noise, that was the cue for the visceral attack. Now, usually, pressing R1 would have cued that, but I just hit them. You guys need to fix that. That's all. That's my only tip for that, is just fix it. Also, sometimes your AI will do nothing but strafe a little bit. Yeah, this was the shortcut I was talking about, and then it just leads to the elevator, which is the other shortcut. Do I already have this over here? Cleared. Nope. Because I died. I do like that the gunmen are the ones who drop the bullets. Sometimes it can be just a random person, a random Yharnam hunter that turned into a beast. That's what these guys are. They're Yharnam hunters that turned into beasts. They're not actually people anymore. Which is why one of the lines is, well, I forget it exactly what it says. That pretty much they're pleading for you to kill them because they have turned into a beast. And they've regained consciousness for a little bit. Yeah, I'm just going through here just in case I missed anything. Which I did not, because I specifically remember going through here. Yeah, my brain did that a lot today. So, ninth period, it's in the same wing as last year's Spanish 1 class, which is the class I took, which is 10th period. I don't know if I already said that or not. But anywho, I don't know if I've gone through here already. I probably have. Jeez. 2015 collision boxes. Anyway, it was ninth period today. My brain just zoned out, and my legs just did muscle memory. So I thought it was 10th period. I walked out of the lunchroom doors, and then as soon as I saw there were no buses outside, I was like, oh crap, this isn't 10th period. It's just ninth period that just ended. It's only because my math class takes place, or my Spanish class took place. The only reason why I shot right there was because, you know, sometimes they choose to continue the combo, other times they don't, which is really annoying. Alright, so here's where the bosses are. As you can see, I don't have the lantern, which means I don't have it done. But I purposely don't have it done, because, you know, I don't want to get it done yet. Alright, I think that's this area pretty much done until I reset. As you can see, I have about 17k. I would only have... Oh. I heard voices, and usually that indicates there are living Yharnam. Yep, there's one of them. Yharnam hunters that have turned into beasts. I'm just gonna call them Yharnam hunters. Sometimes I might just simplify it to villager, because that's literally what this is. It's pretty much a village that just went mad. Although it's not a village, it's a city, but, whatever. Alright, now everything's clear, and I can go back to the Hunter's Dream and back. And I don't mind that roar in the distance. That's just a soundbite that is used to... it's actually the same soundbite that's indicated that you just defeated one of those, I don't know, centipedes that were somehow transformed into kin.
Welcome home. What is it you...
Because reasons.
Let the echoes become your strength. Let me...
Oops, I accidentally hit twice. Or hit X twice. The voice actor for this character, that levels you up, they're actually the same voice actor.
May you find your worth in the waking world.
They're the same voice actor that, plays a character that, levels you up in Demon Souls, also known as the Maiden in Black. Alright, so I'll clear it to +3. Can't make it any higher unless I get Twin Bloodstone Shards. Let's see here, anything I can get in here? Nope, nothing of value. Yet, anyway. Alright, I need 10k for those, and 18k for the body piece. And this video is just me ranting and grinding at the same time. Right, because I usually don't have a window like this, where the internet's just good enough to stream. Because that's how bad it is in this area. You literally can't stream if there are more than 3 people in the house. Sorry, more than 2 people in the house. Because when my mom and dad get on the internet, I can't stream. One reason why is because it slows everyone else's internet down, and it just, it's just bad. 2, mainly blue screens will occur on the stream. Yeah, I agree. Which, the blue screen did happen in one of my streams. Probably in 2 of my streams that I was doing while, my dad was home. My mom was still at work, though, so I thought I could sneak in a stream, which I could not. Because my brother was upstairs on his computer, while my dad was down here on his computer as well, so... Hey. Why did you go with the grab to start with? That is the worst and most readable move that that enemy can do. Is the grab. Worst choice. Yeah, that's another thing. The AI will start off with the slowest, most predictable attack sometimes. Also, they'll do really short-ranged attacks when you're, like, kind of far away. So, yeah. I kind of don't see the point for the AI doing really short attacks or long, parryable, attacks that are easy to read. When you're literally far away. Sorry I'm pausing a lot. My brain is like, alright, I'm gonna end the sentence here, and then I just continue to talk. So I literally just put a period there. Oh look, somebody either starting out a normal game or a New Game Plus. Which, I don't know why they have the starter gear if they're on New Game Plus. Unless it's just to look cool in quotations. Or in quote fingers. Because literally that set does not look cool. It's just a starting gear because it's the starting gear. It's the worst. Alright, well, that's my cue to get off here. So, I'll see you guys in another video. Whoops.